You asked Cassidy Hubbard when we had her on the show earlier about the national attention the Cavs are getting and may not be getting. She gave her answer. That was actually a topic on today's docket. The Cavs are 31-4 on pace for 73 wins this season, yet the players in the locker room have said, and they specifically echoed it on Sunday after their last win, we don't feel like we're getting the attention we deserve. G, you heard Cassidy's answer. Why do you believe the Cavs may not be getting the national attention that a 31-4 start in a vacuum deserves?
Well, those are the obvious. It's Cleveland. It's cold. It's not really. Again, it's an old Rust Belt city. It is a city that is built on blue collar working. There isn't much, I would say, industry or traditional media formats that come from here where it's really large. It's a Midwest town. So when you talk about the big markets and the big cities like Miami and Boston and LA and all those teams, Dallas, they're gonna get the benefit of the doubt because those teams come with that level of cachet. Like if you look at it, I think the stat is something crazy that when you take a look at all of the big market teams who have ever won championships in the NBA, it's like something crazy. There's they won 80% of the championships. I could be wrong, but
a lot of that the Celtics.
You got the Celtics, you got the Lakers, you got the Heat, you got San Francisco.
I don't think the Heat is a big market team.
The Heat is Miami. It's a huge market.
Yeah, but it's not a huge, from a sports perspective.
I mean, they're a sexy name. I'm not sure it's a huge market, but they're a sexy name.
Chicago hasn't won anything. Obviously Jordan, but outside of that, they've been terrible.
Chicago. Go back and look at them championships.
Yeah, Lakers.
Yeah, the other teams, though, for Miami specifically, they got stuff going on, with the Butler thing. People want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Spoelstra, Pat Riley, they've got some names there that people gravitate towards, and it's a juicy topic for national media to talk about. So regardless of the size of the market, I just think, honestly, guys, not to cut you off and to butt in here, the Cavs aren't sexy.
They aren't. No.
They're not, but they play sexy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But to your point, yes, Cleveland is a factor, just like Oklahoma City's probably not getting any coverage either, because Oklahoma City's not a sexy city either. It's more about the stars. When LeBron was here, Cleveland got plenty of coverage.
Plenty.
I mean, that's the star of all. I guess that's the star of all stars, right?
The smaller the market or the less sexier the market, the bigger the star has to be.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics, if the Knicks were 31-4, they'd be getting more coverage than the Cavs.
Oh man, if the Knicks was 31-4,
but if the Cavs were doing this with LeBron, they'd be getting the same coverage the Knicks would.
The Cavs are a likable team. 100%. They don't have any villains.
Nope.
The coach is sort of nondescript. Not a lot of national people.
Good coach, but he's not like a sexy name.
I think he's a great coach.
Yeah.
Good coach, great coach.
There's no controversy.
There's nothing to say other than, wow, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And like she said, we know this. People get mad.
People are so butthurt about it.
The bigger markets have a bigger fan base. They get more eyeballs on the TV. You can't expect ESPN to cover a team more often that gets them lower ratings.
Right.
It's unfortunate. It's just the way it is. But the Cavs are getting a lot more national games over the next 6 weeks. They got a bunch of TNT and ESPN games.
Yeah, nobody expected them to be this good.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why they weren't scheduled on a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cavs will play on Christmas next year. I promise you that.
100%, yeah.
I promise you they will be.
Yeah.
Now,
Christmas is over for the Cavs.
If they win the title,
yeah.
I think then things change a little bit because you're on the radar a little bit. Like the Nuggets went on TV like that.
Yeah.
They won the championship, and the Nuggets is on they on Christmas Day, they on these big markets. Now here's the thing. Even with Denver got arguably one of the best players of all time in Joker.
And they don't get a ton of
coverage. And
they
still don't get a lot of coverage.
And Denver's a bigger market than Cleveland.
How crazy was that stat I sent you this morning about Jokic?
That was wild.
Yeah, that was insane.
crazy.
His numbers are crazy.
Drop that.
He should win the MVP again, Jokic.
What's that stat you gave? Drop that again.
Yeah, just not to derail this, but Jokic this season is averaging 31.5 points per game. That's more than Shaq ever did in a season. He's averaging 13 rebounds. That's more than Tim Duncan ever did in a season. He's averaging 9.7 assists. That's more than Gary Payton ever did in a season, who's top 11 all-time.
I would never have guessed.
And he's shooting 47.3% from three on 6.5 attempts per game. Steph Curry, who obviously takes more threes, has never shot over 46% in a season.
Yeah,
so,
and to be fair, it's the middle of the season versus the end of the season.
But just at this
not
point,
really a fair comparison.
It's an absurd.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm telling you, bro.
And he doesn't look like a good athlete.
I think that it holds you back. Like, I think the fact that he's European.
Yeah.
Does not really, is not really outwardly, does not care about talking to the media.
Yeah.
Plays in Denver. Like, if that was, I don't know. Can you imagine? Like, what if Amani Bates put them numbers up?
That's a interesting pull for your guy, Amani Bates.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Amani Bates. Is he putting numbers up like that in the G League?
Hey, man.
He had one game with 30.
Yeah, 30. What he's doing is working on his game. You know what I'm saying? He down there cooking.
He's not averaging 30.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't need you to score 50 points a game. We need to work on the other parts of your game. You know what I'm saying?
I think Amani Bates is never going to see.
Stop playing. Why would you? Why are you doing that? Why would you go there?
They're too good.
Listen.
That's a good thing.
By the way, they said the same thing about Sam Merrill, but who told you? Who told you Sam Merrill was going to cook? He's too small, G. He's a small white guy. He'll never get on. He's making.
Who is the best? Speaking of white guys, who is the best non-European white guy? Chet Holmgren?
He's up there. Tyler Hero is up there.
Yeah.
I saw this hilarious video on Instagram.
Real quick. In terms of the national attention for these two teams, Dan Devine, who came on the show a couple weeks ago,
literally
at 12 o'clock dropped an article making the case for first-time NBA All-Stars. Guys who haven't made it yet who should. Number one was Wembanyama, and his write-up for Wembanyama says, I don't need to explain this. Number two, Evan Mobley. Number three, Jalen Williams of the Thunder. The matchup we highlighted.
Garland's been in the All-Star game before.
Who?
Darius Garland.
Garland has, yeah. The rest of the guys.
Allen.
Cade Cunningham, Alperen Sengun, Derek White, Tyler Hero, and Norm Powell were on the rest of the list.
Mike, you could have waited 60 seconds when I was in the middle of my American white guy.
It literally popped up in my head.
Now you killed the moment.
Who's your
but
white
I'm going to bring it up anyway. There's a funny video on Instagram about it's like a song about American white guys in the NBA, and I wish I could think of the name of it because Aaron and I were watching it and we were laughing our ass off. It's like they all have nice hair or whatever. I don't know. It was just really funny about just search for American white guy. I don't know. I guess you can get in trouble searching American white guys, but
I don't know why.
But it was a hilarious Instagram video. But the European guys, man, they're always much more fundamentally sound than the American players, period. White or black, doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they actually play basketball over there instead of just street balling it.
The audacity for me to interrupt that, by the way, Bull.
Is Wemby is Wemby going to be the greatest basketball player ever?
No.
If he stays healthy?
No.
If he stays healthy, yeah.
He's got a chance.
No.
Yeah. I mean, he's a unicorn.
No.
And I feel like he's greater than a unicorn because we've said unicorn so many times about players like Kevin Durant.
Yes.
I mean, Steph Curry. I don't know. Like, Wembanyama, I don't see too many players like him falling off of trees, man. Like, to be at his size.
But you worry about injuries at his size.
Of course. Of course.
Or his feet don't hold up. Or
you worry about injuries with anybody who's got a unique frame.
How old is he?
We said the same thing about Zion.
He's like 20.
Wemby, yeah, he's 20. He just turned 20. His 21st birthday was 3 days ago.
I mean, that's crazy.
Okay, his 21st birthday 3 days ago.
He's averaging this season 25.5 points. He's shooting 48% from the floor, 36% from three on 9 3-point attempts per game. He's an 88% free throw shooter. He's averaging 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks, and 2 steals per game.
Well, listen, you hit me back in 20 years. I need him to do that for 20 straight years.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then we could have a conversation about him and LeBron. 20?
A lot of people would say Michael Jordan's the greatest player ever.
I mean,
even though I hate that conversation.
I mean, you got to think about it.
What LeBron has been doing.
Yeah.
For 20, how many years? 22?
22.
21? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot think about this. That's 20. LeBron has been in the game 22 years.
It's amazing.
22. And he's still probably averaging 23.
But Wemby would be the first pick in the draft if you were starting an NBA draft of all players right now.
Who's this now?
Wemby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not even close.
I mean, forgetting contracts, you would ignore that part of it. But It is pretty amazing what he's doing.
Now he got a chance. He got a shot if he stayed. The injury stuff is the thing that gets you. Because look, think about how many great people that like. Think about guys like Bernard King or T-Mac or Grant Hill or guys that were really good that just was like, oh, I can't stay healthy after this. Like Derrick Rose, just career just melted.
Yeah, those guys are like at some point in their career considered like one of the best or top 5 player in the league. They got a signature shoe, and then all of a sudden they get hurt.
I thought Zion Williamson was like Zion ain't even playing.
Yeah, but he came in. He's never been like this.
I mean, but
Zion's been hurt his whole career. He's fat.
I mean, Zion Williamson coming out of Duke was a monster.
Right, but there was always concern because he's not in good shape.
All right, Yao Ming. Yao Ming was a monster.
He was great.
Yeah.
The one thing who they said was the best was
Sabonis.
Sabonis. He didn't come to America until he was a lot older. But
the one thing with Wemby that he has that's different, his defensive ability at 21 is so far superior to where a lot of other guys were in any capacity of their game. Like, he's the best defender in basketball today at 21.
Yeah.
He's a minus 1,500 to win DPOY.
What's his wingspan?
I think
it's got to be over 8 feet, right?
Hold on. I would imagine. His standing reach he's an 8-foot wingspan.
Yeah.
His standing reach at the combine was 9'11", which means on his tippy toes he's dunking without jumping. Yeah. So
that's just insane.
That's wild.
Can you even touch the net? Standing under
Me?
No, not even close, right?
Oh, but you were nuts. Speaking of that, I heard this very funny comedy routine from a guy named Gary Goldman, who talks about playing basketball at the JCC, which is the Jewish Community Center, and he talks about how, they had breakaway baskets.
Yeah, the springs.
And he was like, it's a bunch of 12-year-old Jewish kids who's dunking.
Right.
It was pretty funny.
Shout out to the Jewish Center. Man, you ever used to go there back in the day?
Oh yeah.
In Canton, yeah.
Shout